We currently exist in a realm of no limits and absolutely everything. A world without obstacles, a world where the only obstacles one can come across are the ones that a person actively creates for themselves. But regrettably, this is the case more often than not we feel caught. Since the chain of thought and the restrictions set by us on our own selves, on our own actions, on our own lives, this is commonly referred to as the lock-in of force that hinders our growth to the fullest potential. Lock-in is the cord that slowly ties us around the comforts of life, the routine, and the known. Plus, it is the exact reason we are locked into those cycles of employment, love, or any given life pattern we perhaps do not enjoy as we should. It's the force that often dictates to us, this is how it has always been done, so this is how it must always be done.
But me and my ideas are here to let you know that lock-in is not a boss shackle that one cannot escape. It is a prison that we impose on ourselves, thus we are capable of unlocking the door and escaping from it. Today we will learn about lock-in, what it is, how it limits us in key approaches and ways of thinking that enable us to break it. That is why, leaving the lock-in far behind, we enter a world that has no limits and where in fact everything is achievable.
So let's dive in. What is lock-in and how does it manifest in our lives?
Lock-in is a term that describes the phenomenon where an individual, organization, or even an entire society becomes trapped in a particular way of thinking, behaving, or operating, even when better alternatives may exist. It's a concept that was first introduced by economists who observed how certain technologies or business models can become entrenched, even if they are not the most efficient or innovative options available.
For instance, you have the QWERTY keyboard. This arrangement of the keys was actually initially intended to decrease keystroke per minute for the original typewriters to lessen rate at which the mechanical arms could jam. However, despite the fact that today's computers do not have mechanical restrictions, the layout pattern of QWERTY has continued to be used as the standard layout for many years. Why? People and institutions have gotten used to it that the cost and effort needed for them to change to a better layout, such as Dvorak, is highly improbable.
This same dynamic can play out in our personal lives as well. We may find ourselves stuck in unfulfilling careers, unhealthy relationships, or unproductive habits, even though we know deep down that there are better paths available. But the familiarity, the comfort, the fear of the unknown, these are the forces of lock-in that hold us in place.
With a lock is that it doesn't just keep us from reaching our full potential. It can also have profound consequences on our well-being, our relationships, and our ability to adapt. Well, how then do people escape from this pitfall? Thus, the initial action planning requires an identification of the causes for lock-in, so that measures to combat this phenomenon can be elaborated.
Of all the sources of lock-in, the appeal to habit is perhaps one of the most potent sources, as people simply love to stick to familiar things. Due to our nature, we all tend to have a bias towards what is familiar to us than what can be associated with danger. This biological predisposition was useful for mankind in times of cavemen nomad lifestyles. However, it hinders one from seeking better and more meaningful jobs in the contemporary society.
The other influencing factor is the ability of culture to act as a habit. We can establish unproductive habits in our brain and do not realize that they are unfavorable for us. and we continue to do them. Parting away from the comfort zone is always hard, as everyone's brain is wired in such a way that it resists change. Lock-in is also reinforced by social and institutional forces. We are heavily influenced by the norms, expectations, and systems that shape our lives. From the education system to the workplace, to our own social circle. These external pressures can make it feel nearly impossible to deviate from the well-worn path, even if it's not the best path for it.
And last, but not least, two factors that can be really persuasive and prevent society from escaping lock-in are the fear of the unknown and the costs of change. This fear of the unknown, of change, of potential loss, of being labeled a failure, and having to begin all over again are all mental factors which can pin a man down to a particular position.
So with all of these forces working against us, how can we possibly break free? The answer lies in cultivating a mindset and a set of strategies that empower us to overcome the constraints of lock-in. The first suggestion is to build a growth mindset. This is the right time to change and look at change as a way of developing something new. I'm finding new ways of doing things. What is missing from this discourse is the proactive exploration of novelty, the readiness to venture into the unknown under condition of reasonable control, and the confidence in one's and the species' capacity to learn and grow. The third step that has to be taken from this source is in retrospect to the possibilities of how the assumptions and bias of both the researcher and the participants. Inertial processes are usually established when for some reason people cease to think and just accept things as they are. In this way, taking time to challenge our prejudice, allow ourselves to look at things in a new perspective. Yet another strategic step is the identification of the internal motivation and meanings, the significance of the objective. There is a sense of purpose always has us focused and willing to risk as well as work to get out of the state of lock-in. We also have to be ready to give up on that which is safe and comfortable and take new risks and embrace the uncertain. What this means is that there should be a certain amount of tolerance to risk. That one is willing to try something new, and that one is willing to embark on a venture and fail as he learns. And perhaps the most crucial of these is the creation of positive locker who can help encourage and challenge us to overcome the lock-in. From a boss to a life coach, from teammates to friends, finding the right people to support us is one of the best things that could happen. By cultivating these mindsets and strategies, we can start to chip away at the forces of lock-in that have been holding us back. It's not an easy process, and it will require courage, persistence, and a willingness to step out of our comfort zones. But the rewards of breaking free are immense. La prise de lock et de lock in permettre l'ouverture de toutes les portes. It is possible to do what we love, discover new opportunities, and build the future as we dream. The possibilities are to be free of frustration and stagnation, and perhaps truly blossom. So I encourage you, my friends, to take a long, hard look at the areas of your life where lock-in has taken hold. Identify the patterns, the habits, the fears that are holding you back. And then, with courage and determination, begin to chip away at those constraints. Step by step, day by day, you can break free and unleash the extraordinary power that lies within you. Go out and seize the moment, and the world is yours. It is for this reason that the future belongs to you in every sense of the word. But my friends, so let's go, my friend. We need to free ourselves from lock-in and unlock the best of us. This is powerful motive, and don't forget, never give up. Like this video and subscribe.